Each time we speak, some specific muscles in our body contract in order to ensure that we pronounce sounds correctly, and in successive progression. This brings us to the study of speech organs in the human body. What are organs of speech? Organs of speech refer to the various muscles in the body responsible for the production of speech sounds. They are organs that aid intelligible articulation of sounds, that is, production of recognizable speech sounds. We are only, in most cases, conscious of the movement of our mouth when we speak. However, the movement of the internal organs responsible for speech production is involuntary since we do not consciously control their activities. This brings us to the concept of vocal tract. Vocal tract. The vocal tract is an umbrella term that refers to the two categorizations of organs of speech in the human body, namely the oral cavity and the nasal cavity. Oral cavity refers to the category of speech organs located in the mouth region, while the nasal cavity is the category of speech organs located in the nostrils, and they both moderate the production of speech sounds in their own ways. This is a diagram of the vocal tract. You can refer back to this to be able to get a better grasp of the explanations. Various organs of speech. Pharynx. This organ serves as a passageway for air leaving the lungs into the atmosphere. This air is referred to as egressive air or pulmonic egressive air. The pharynx connects both the oral cavity and the nasal cavity. It leads to the beginning of the nasal cavity and the end of the oral cavity. Larynx. This is the organ that houses the voice box, also known as vocal folds. The voice box or vocal folds is responsible for the moderation of speech sound voicing, determining whether a sound will be voiced or voiceless in articulation. This is done by the opening and closing of the glottis, two bean-like objects located in the voice box that moderate the flow of air out of the lungs, into the mouth and, then the atmosphere. Soft palate. This is the organ that is located at the back of the mouth behind the hard palate. It serves the purpose of blocking airflow into the nostrils when the oral cavity is being used in articulation, and blocks the flow of air into the oral cavity when the nasal cavity is being used in articulation. The soft palate, also known as velum, is used in the production of their velar consonant sounds, ku and gu, as in king and game. Hard palate. This is the organ located right before the soft palate at the roof of the mouth. It has a harder texture than the soft palate, which is why you almost feel like vomiting when you touch your soft palate. The hard palate is used in the production of palatal sounds like the only palatal sounds in the English language, ye, as in, young. Alveolar ridge. This is the organ located right behind the upper teeth at the roof of the mouth. You can feel it by placing your finger on your upper teeth, then slowly moving it into your mouth, where you would feel a slight bump. This bump is what earned it the name, alveolar ridge, because it is shaped and feels like the ridges on farmlands. Sounds that are produced when the tongue makes contact with the alveolar ridge are known as alveolar sounds. For example, the consonant sounds, C and Z, produced when the tongue is raised to the alveolar ridge. Tongue. This is the most important organ of speech in the human body. This is because it is responsible for the articulation of most, if not all, the speech sounds. This is why when the tongue is cut off, it becomes difficult to produce intelligible speech sounds. The tongue is the most mobile organ of speech since it can make contact with other organs in ensuring the production of sounds. The parts of the tongue that make these contacts are the tip, the blade, the front and the back of the tongue. The tip is the foremost part of the tongue, the blade of the tongue are the sides of the tongue, the front of the tongue is the part closest to the tip, while the back of the tongue is the part closest to the soft palate, and connected to the root of the tongue. Teeth. This organ refers to the upper and lower teeth of the human body. Both the upper teeth and the lower teeth play important roles in the articulation of dental and labiodental consonant sounds. For instance, the labiodental fricatives, fu and vu, are produced by a combination of the upper teeth and the lower lip, which covers the lower teeth, and aids the outflow of air in producing these sounds. Lips. These organs, the upper and lower lip, are important organs used in the production of speech. This is because they are responsible for letting air escape from the mouth, resulting in the articulation of sounds, and they are also used in their production of sounds, such as bilabial plosives. For instance, the consonant sounds, p and b, are produced with both the upper lip and the lower lip. Nose. This organ is responsible for breathing and the articulation of nasal sounds like the mu and nu sounds. It is referred to as the nasal cavity, and each time nasal sounds are to be produced, the soft palate is lowered to block the passage of air into the mouth to ensure that the sounds are articulated through the nostrils. So organs of speech are simply the muscles that enable the production of speech sounds. Sounds are created when air escapes from the lungs into the vocal tract, either the oral cavity, the mouth, or the nasal cavity, the nose. The various organs that moderate the flow of air to differentiate sounds include the pharynx, larynx, hard palate, soft palate, etc. Understanding how the organs of speech function will enable you understand the human body better and the specific parts of it that aid speech production. See you soon.